Live guys, welcome to another live stream from the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. Today I want to help you guys understand why semen retention is not your priority. And I'm going to start out by watching the latest Gold Jacket Luke video. I've done, 2 of my last 3 videos have been of his channel, and it's because he's on fire, okay? So, hey, what do you do, okay? You watch his videos and you appreciate the work and effort that he's put in and the success of himself and of his clients. Let's listen to this video that he's had about his client. I really liked it.
We don't like just to talk, but we like to see results. And we're all about success. So this channel is all about success. We don't like just to talk, but we like to see results. And what I'm gonna share to you in this video doesn't just apply to porn addiction, but applies to really everything in life. So one of my clients who's been struggling with a porn addiction for years and years and years.
Ring a bell? Most of you guys have this situation, and that's a problem, but there's a solution. And the solution is actually way easier than you ever thought.
A long time and a pretty significant porn addiction. He's been working with me for I think like 2 years, maybe even a little bit longer. But anyways, recently he hit 165 days and counting of being porn free, which is amazing, right? That's awesome. My client's killing it, and he says he's feeling so much better and awesome and liberated, and he's doing it. And he's been working this for so long, and to actually have that awesome success, it's amazing. It's the dream, and the dream he had 2 or 3 years ago about being porn free or even longer, it's real now.
Isn't that so cool? Like, to actually set a goal for oneself, that is a big goal, and then you actually make it. Wow, that's awesome.
I'll share with you the main thing he did to be so successful on this. And obviously it is a combination of lots of things he's done over time. It's often a process of fall down 7 times, stand up 8 times, and all the lessons you learn through their journey. But the thing about my client is he did something that most people aren't willing to do, which is, and I think this is why he's having the success he's having.
Doing the things that most people are not willing to do. You hear that? Most people are not willing to do the things that are necessary in order for you to prepare for success. You see, success with getting, becoming porn free and practicing SR, semen retention, it's all in the preparation. It's not in the moment, I'm gonna manage to discipline myself to not watch porn and not masturbate right now. It's not at that point. That's not what you're building up your willpower and your strength. It's completely overrated willpower, because you're weak, and that's okay. And that's why you need to use everything else that you can do to prepare yourself to succeed. Prior preparation prevents poor performance. Okay, the 5 Ps. You can do this, but you got to understand that it's not just, I'm going to discipline myself to not do it. No. The preparation. What's the preparation?
Is that he took the social support and accountability aspect of his recovery extremely seriously. So over the past year, he was seeing me as a life coach. He was seeing a professional, so 2 people that he was paying for help. And then he also went to a group, a recovery group. And at that group, he found 2 accountability partners at that group too. At a certain time, he was actually checking in with 4 people a week regarding his porn addiction. 4 people a week.
That's impressive. Okay, that's being open. And you notice that it's not like you go out there and tell the whole world that you're trying to become porn free. You're telling an inner circle of people, right? That can help you on the path to become porn free, right? Because you don't need the stigma of your entire life of like, man, I struggled with porn for an extreme long period of time. Like, you don't need that past and that history with a bunch of people. You just need it with the few inner circle people who actually helped you to get through it. And I like what he did. And in our system, in the Men of High Value system, we have a similar way of doing that actually, where I'm a coach that helps you to actually get past it. So I'm an accountability coach. In addition, we have a weekly phone call, okay, or group chat or video call with the entire Men of High Value movement of those that desire to be present on that day. Once a week, which means that the person who is actually striving to become porn free has a weekly accountability that I don't want to let the guys down, right? My guys so far have not paid for therapists because really they don't need it, okay? No offense to those that do try to get a therapist, but we've got those answers of why you do things, and you don't need a therapist, okay? In my opinion. Obviously, you know, good on that person, you know, Luke's client for actually using all means and everything all together. But yeah, so just moving on from that, having 4 accountability partner though, amazing. So I do recommend that, but I'm gonna add some things to what he's saying here. This is a very good strategy, but there's one thing or more that I'm gonna cover after this video to kind of perfect your preparation to success in getting rid of porn and practicing SR, finally, for the first time, managing to get 90 days.
You know, he's taken this extremely seriously. And like, just to be frank and honest, I think my client, you know, probably wants this 5 times more than the average person watching this video, maybe 10 times more. You know, he's willing to put in 10 times more effort than probably the average person watching this video in getting his porn addiction handled, you know.
You know that's what success takes? It's just effort. And what is it that creates tons of effort? Okay? It's desire. Desire. So the thing that you're using actually desired the wrong direction. When you're addicted to porn and you know, and masturbating, PMO, you have desire, okay? And that desire is so strong that you have to get rid of it. and you're moving towards dissipating your desire instead of actually channeling your desire into worthwhile goals. Now, this guy had an intense desire to get rid of those things that dissipate his desire. Do you have the same thing? Do you have a strong enough desire to do those things that need to get done that 100% for sure will allow you to become successful in this area or any other area? It's all about desire. Once you have enough desire, you will get it done. Why? Because success is 100% predictable when you apply the correct principles. And guess what? Since you're part of this channel, and maybe Gold Jacket Luke's channel, you have the principles in place now how to succeed. And you're hearing from people who have gotten rid of it, okay? I haven't touched it for years, all right? So you need to understand that you're listening to people who actually are free from it, which means that they're successful at it, which means that they can lead you. And there are certain principles that every single person that does become free from it has applied, and that's why they're free from it. Do you have the desire, a strong enough desire to do those things that they did that most people are not willing to do?
He wanted this. He had the burning desire to be cleansed and to get this addiction handled, and he put in the work, and he's making it happen, and it's amazing. What I learned from my...
And it's the exact same thing with any goal. How much do you desire that goal, and are you willing to put in 5 times, 10 times more effort than other people are willing to? Because that's going to be the difference maker in terms of, you know, who actually achieves their goals.
My client is that social support and accountability was huge for him. It's a game changer for him. If he's checking in with people 4 times a week, you know, it's like you're constantly feeling supported. You're constantly have someone to be accountable for. You constantly, if you're having an urge, you have someone to reach out to, or you have that support and accountability. And when you have that support and accountability too, it also forces you to face your soul. If you have a slip, you have to, like, one of the foundations is radical honesty. So if you have a slip, you have to tell your support system. You have to tell them why it happened, how it happened, what it was exactly. And you know, it makes you face your soul. It makes you face all those rationalizations. You can't lie to yourself anymore. It makes you face your rationalizations, the twisted lies your mind tells yourself.
You become integral. You begin to have integrity in your life. This is what I did. I don't want to do it anymore. This is what I've learned, and this is how I'm going to handle it next time around. Right? That's what's important. The accountability is crucial, again, but it's only half the answer.
and and it forces you to really get to the bottom of this. And when getting 4 different perspectives from 4 different people and constantly recalibrating over time and just getting that support, like, you got this, you're doing great, and then when he slips, forgive yourself, get back up there, and just knowing that if he has a slip, he has to tell people, that's just huge accountability. It's huge skin in the game, and he took massive action, and what you put into something, you get out. Think about that. He has 4 people that in his social support network. And I think that's why he's 165 days clean from porn right now. His ultimate goal is to cut off, masturbation and porn, but he found that doing both at the same time was just too hard. So he's allowed himself some emergency masturbations, but he has been 165 days plus from porn.
And to be honest with you, I think that that's worth it, and it's worth a try. And I have one client now that has a goal of doing that, and I really believe in that, okay? If you have to rub one out, then so be it. If you're just free from porn, okay? The goal is to be free from porn, because then that automatically causes you to masturbate and to not live SR. So we need to understand the automatics of our habits and our systems and our neural pathways, okay? When we do something, it leads to something else. And then that leads to something else. And then that leads to something else. And we need to know what is it that leads to, and then find that root thing that we've been doing that is not harmful, maybe, okay? But that leads us to a thing that leads to harm, if that makes sense, okay? Understand that the world is just a bunch of systems. And once you have a system that you can tap into that solves a problem or solves a habit or takes you away from a habit that you don't want to do anymore, you got to focus on the system, not on the effect. The effect is you masturbating. What's the system that causes you to masturbate very often? It's nice girls and girls that are not very clothed and, Pornhub, you know what I mean? All those things leads you to masturbation and leads you to feeling guilty, and rubbing one out, and then having no desire anymore, feeling shameful because you really want to get rid of this, and then you get low self-worth, and then you relapse even more, and then you just cause more problems, right? So if we just manage to get rid of the porn first, that's going to help you to not have the need for the masturbation. Okay, and it's really hard for people who've ingrained their brains into porn. It's really hard for them to connect masturbation with no porn. How do you do that if you're really addicted to it? But that's a neural pathway that you gotta open up. And that's okay. Okay, now obviously, preferably if you can manage to go masturbation free completely for 90 days, great, awesome. And I've got the system, and that I will explain after this video. But you need to understand that it's okay. I told one of my clients that, you know what? Semen retention is okay. Semen retention is your friend, okay? And he understands that you're going to have a small struggle to get to semen retention, okay? He knows that you're going to come around. He's there for you. And he says, and you tell semen retention, he's your friend, and you tell semen retention, I really want to tackle and be there with you, right? Okay, get my weird, analogy here, but I can't yet. I gotta take care of the porn aspect first. Semen retention understands. He's like, yeah, take care of that, man. I'll be here. I'll be waiting for you. No problems. You're just not ready for SR yet. Okay, so let's get rid of the porn. So I just wanted to comment on the aspect that he mentioned, because that's a good tactic, in my opinion, to just get rid of that system that causes you all sorts of problems.
And it's amazing to, see his success, and it's inspiring. And I wanted to share, that his journey with you guys about just the importance of social support and accountability. Get a therapist, get a life coach, get an accountability partner, join the group, tell a friend, tell a family member. There's this weird thing with porn addicts. They want to handle this on their own. There's this extra shame for some reason about porn, and people talk about it less compared to alcoholism, for example. But social support and accountability is huge.
It is massive, okay? If you're addicted to something, you're struggling with something, it's crucial that you get it out, that you vent it to someone who understands. Why? Because you're feminine. right? If you've been around my channel for a while, you understand the difference between masculinity and femininity. And feminine, like, you have warped masculinity. You're masculine and you're feminine. So you have an untapped potential in terms of masculinity, but you're feminine because you can't control yourself, right? And so what happens is that because you're feminine, you want to prove your masculinity, that you can handle this on your own. Because I'm an individual and I can do this and I can be strong and I don't, need to tell anyone, because that would be, that would be embarrassing. Okay? Stop thinking like that. You need to think it's embarrassing to stay in this addiction for years and years and years and years. That's horrible. So you got to do the things that are necessary to get out of that addiction as fast as possible. And that is doing the number one step or number one phase of the 5 phases of leadership. And that is allow yourself to be led. That's the only feminine step in the entire 5 phases of leadership, but the step and the phase that you will stay in for the rest of your life if you want to be truly successful, truly one of the greats, truly tapping into your potential. It is the most crucial step, in my opinion, okay? Because if you don't have that one, none of the other ones are going to work out, really. Number 1, allow yourself to be led. Number 2, lead yourself. Number 3, lead others, lead a team. Number 4, lead women. Number 5, lead kids. This is what creates a true, amazing leader. If he understands all phases. But it starts with number 1, allowing yourself to be led, which is what this guy chose to do. And guess what? He became successful in terms of the goals that he had. Amazing how that works. Are you listening to your coach? Are you listening to your accountability partner? Okay? That's where it starts, and that's where your addiction ends. At least half of the answer. Stay tuned for the second half.
It's something I highly recommend. It's, been one of the most important factors in my client success. And I highly recommend you get some social support and accountability on this journey. It makes it more of like a team effort, and it makes it more fun too.
Personal development is a team sport. There is no I in personal development. Actually, there is no I in personal development, okay? It's a team sport, right? And you've got to treat it as such. You got to work with other people. Even though that's, phase 3. Let's do that immediately. Become part of someone else's team, right?
Makes it more serious, If you have an urge, you're also going to have the thought, if I give this urge, I'm going to have to tell 4 people. It's just some extra oomph, in the recovery journey. So
boom. Love it. Amazing. Gold jacket Luke. Boom. You're amazing. So